I want to show you another method of making these borders where you're using a quarter of the border and then you're reproducing it to the left and then two of them to the bottom. And we've still got the same setup with the guidelines forming these half or inch margins all the way around except for the bottom inch and a quarter, and then an inch inside measurement with a center line and the measure between this guide and this guide to form the center for the borders that we're going to produce here. Not the center of the page, but the center of the borders, because we've got a little more space on the bottom. Now I've made my black basic L shape here, and I want to show you a way to do a little more creativeness if you want to get to that. I'm going to enlarge that a little bit so we can see what we're doing. That is a black fill, and I'm going to deselect that and change my fill to a red color. Again, I'm going to go with that orange red. Then I'm going to use my pencil tool, and I'm going to draw a line here. Now remember that I'm in the strokes here, and the stroke is going to be the rounded cap and the rounded joint, and I'm going to make this, let's go to 8 points again, and I'll set that at 8. Now with my tool here, I can draw a line. Now remember, when it's coming in and out of this area here or here, it should be straight on. So if it's going to touch into the next flip over here, then it's going to work itself out. So I'm going to take my pencil tool and just freehand a line like that. And see, and it turns itself into an 8-point stroke. Then I'm going to take another one and just freehand it and just loop it like this. And loop another one and bring it around and do this sort of thing. And you can see I'm going to continue this as just a freehand lope through this L-shaped square thing. And I'm just playing the game here and seeing where I can go and what's going to come out of it. I don't know, but I'm just being amorphic here. And I'm continuing to make what I call these little worms, so that the design is not, I can even come in here and have a worm and just stop it, and maybe a little one in here, and a loop in here, and circle around and circle up and out and circle down, coming straight into this. Wait a minute, I don't like that last one. That's not straight enough. Let's come around here and come straight down. Good. I hit that Command Z to make that work out. And maybe I'll just draw a loop out of here. Okay, so I've got all these loops here, and it's becoming just you know, there's little worms crawling. I can still go back and select like this worm right here is a little close. I could actually rotate it a little bit and bring it away from these two, or I can grab hold of, no, they're still strokes with a center line, so I'll grab hold of there and just move it around so they're not quite touching. Maybe move this and over and down a little bit, and you can play with these until you get them to be as defined as you want to be. And if you want to add little dots to them, take your pencil tool and just do a click and well, let's see, I guess that's not going to work. Well, I will go there now. Let's just take it as it is. Unless you wanted to say, I want to change and make it a fill and take well, I'll dot those in a minute. Let's do this thing about the strokes. I'm going to select all the strokes. Now see, there they all are, plus the black stroke is picked up. Hold down the shift key and select on that black stroke, and it's going to deselect. Now I have just the red worms as strokes, and we're going to change them to outlines. So again, object, down to path, and to outline stroke, and look at them all change to outlines. Now before I do my minus the front thing, let's come in here with a red circle. I'm going to make a tiny red circle right here, shift key and option key, and then with the shift key, or I'm sorry, with the option key down, I'm going to make copies and just put that, well, you know what, it's a little big. Let's make it a little smaller. Just grab this thing and tighten it down just a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to take a copy of this and just disperse it around here, and I'm just continuing to take copies of the same one just to add some variety and some spice to these things. And I'm just clicking on the last one with the option keys down, and it's just adding these circles in here. Let's see, let's put one more up there. Okay, maybe take the last one and let's put it right in there. All right, now these are solid already, and so now are my worms solid because I went to object because we're dealing with an object, and come down to path because we're changing a path, and over to outline stroke because we want the stroke to become the outline. And you can see when you select on one of these things, the stroke has become, no stroke in the middle, but an outline around the outside. Okay, let's take the whole unit here. The black and the red, and the command key down and hit the minus front, and it cookie cuts. Boom. Okay, so we've got that. Now we can even add a little more to this to make it more interesting. We can take this copy, this shape here, and I'm going to make a copy of it. Option key, and I'm just pulling a copy off, straight copy. And now we're going to go to the outline form of this. Remember, it's just a black shape. I'm going to put to it a black stroke, and the black is the last color we use, so it's down here. So now I have a black stroke. I'm going to come over to my stroke, and I'm going to make it a round join and a round fill, a round cap, end cap, and a round join. And I'm going to start kicking up the points. Now you see, well, I got to select it first. There we go. Everything's ready to go here, and let's start with this 1 point. And then see, it's getting thicker and thicker. Now I don't want to close it, but I want it to get, that's pretty tight right there. I went up to about 6 points. Okay, again we're going to mount the stroke into the fill by going to object, down to path, and over to outline stroke. And bingo, it all comes together, all the geometry, but it's a way complicated. So while it's selected, hold down the option key, the command key, and go up to the Pathfinder and hit this melt or unite together button, and it all becomes one simple outline. See the blue outline around that? The white is a hole, it's you're seeing through it. Now that's a stroke, it's black. Let's change it to a medium or light gray, like 40% gray. Just taking the slider bar down here and making it 40% gray. Put it in the back, Command Shift left bracket, and then bring it over here and carefully balance place it behind your original, something like that. Whoops, put it in the back, Command Shift left bracket, there we go. Okay, so now we have this gray to black to white, and you could change the colors to blue and something else, because the gray will change colors just as much as anything else. But let's Command negative, let's back off a little bit so we see the whole piece here. Alright, so I've got that unit there. Probably get started with, I'm going to select the gray and the black and join them, or group them together, Command G. Alright, and it's the same drill. We take that unit, take our reflex tool, put it right here in the center of March, hold down the option key to make it start, click on it. We want vertical 90 and copy. Okay, now when I turn this off, I can see a little bit of a gray bar right in there. That's because they were we've added the gray to it. I can arrow key it over and I get a bigger gray line, or I can arrow key it this way and try to shut the black down. Let's see, let's just back off of that line, and I'm just going to let that gray bar sit there for now. We can go back and clean that up, but let's take the top part, the two top ones, and the reflect tool again, come to this center spot, hold down the option key to trigger this off and change it to horizontal and 180 and hit copy, and we get that. Okay, so now you can see that the thing we made with the red worms and the outlines is coming to play here and becoming more interesting to look at or to print out. It is symmetrical. If you wanted to play with the black shops up here, I'm going to get closer, and you could come back in here and put black patches right in here to fill that up. A black patch is something like this, where you take I'm going to make it a black fill and use my pen tool and just click right on the edges of this and down to the corner here and come across. Now here I'm going to do a little curve and bend right there, and then come back to the finish, and I've got a patch on that, and you can't tell the difference. I'd patch it here, and I'd patch it on the other side. The little points here, I could come in and take my white arrow with the plus and select that point right there. Well, let's get it right there. I'm going to have to get closer to make that work. I'm coming in a really tight zoom. Might want to go out of color. Command Y, and I can see with my white arrow here, if I get this arrow right there, I can pull it up out of the way. And I can do the same thing over here. And I can pull just that one up arrow out of the way. Now, I'm not sure what I got. Let's go back to color. Command Y. Well, I can fiddle with that and round this off and clean up this gray piece here. Take that particular area right there and get that cleaned up. You can do this very tightly with, I'm not taking the time to do it now, but you can clean that up and make that work for you. Command 0 puts it back in place, and there you've got this border that has this more morphic looking stuff going on, and the background and the gray background, and then you can change colors. Of course, on the inside here goes the name of whatever you're bordering, and perhaps an illustration or a photograph or something else that's there. The border isn't the only thing we're working on. It is a part of the layout, but there is other things that go on the inside. The colors could change. Instead of a white background, you could have a brown or a tan or a blue, and contrasting colors. But this is another way to go after these manufactured borders, where you make the 1/4 and then copy and copy and copy.